and 22, right? So along with that, we discussed for the domestic company what exactly the tax rate, right? So we know that up to 250 crore. Hope I'm audible, isn't it? Okay, fine. So if their turnover is up to 250 crore, then that will be the tax rate will be 25%, and more than 250 crore, that will be the tax rate of rupee of at the rate 30%. So that we have seen in last class. So along with that, uh, we discussed this one we discussed, and this one we need to discuss. Which one? The corporate tax for the foreign companies. So what is the criteria for a tax for a foreign companies that we'll see? So uh, for what company we can call it as a foreign company in the sense that which is not an Indian origin. So which the control and management of that particular company's affairs, activities and management, it is done by the outside India, the which is controlled by from the outside India, that is nothing but foreign companies. Uh, Such corporations are not registered under Companies Act 2013. So, which company, the when we can call it as a company in the sense that it should be registered under Companies Act 2013 or any other previous law. So, foreign company is nothing but which is not, first of all, which is not an Indian origin, right? And though its management and control everything which is situated fully outside India or wholly outside India, such corporations, such companies are not registered or incorporated under the Companies Act 2013. Therefore, therefore, the taxation system for such companies is different from domestic companies. So, how we can calculate the taxation system for the domestic company? This will be the different, and the tax slab rate will be the different for foreign companies. That we'll see in this slide. The taxation system in case of a foreign corporate depends upon the tax agreement between India and the origin country of such foreign company. In the sense that, in case of foreign corporates, it depends on the calculation of a tax liabilities depends on the tax agreement. So there is an agreement between India and the foreign country. So according to that agreement, that particular agreement, what we can call the taxation system will be goes on. So this is what we can call the tax rate for that particular foreign companies. What is the criteria? So any royalty, you know that the royalty is nothing but the fixed amount of income the periodically get by the owners, right, from the who are going to use that one. Say for example, I wrote a book, right, I given it to someone, he can sell it and he can earn it, he periodically pay for me. So that is what we can call the royalty, or any other fees for a technical services received by a foreign company from an Indian concern or Indian government as per any agreement made before April 1st, 1976, which is approved by the central government. Try to understand this one. So any foreign company in the sense that which incorporated in foreign act and which is working for India or working for an Indian concern, so any royalty or any fees or any kind of services which is received by the foreign company for Indian purposes or Indian activities, Indian companies activities for a, or we can say that it can be worked for an Indian government, and it can be received any royalty or amount, the the particular amount or fees or any other technical services received by a foreign company as per the agreement. There is an agreement between or made before April 1st, 1976, which is approved by the central government. If it is approved by the government, central government agreement, So for an Indian origin, which is not an Indian origin, is nothing but foreign companies, right? Uh, that company we can call it as which is not registered under Companies Act. Therefore, the taxation system will be different from like domestic companies. Why? Because the different tax liability is different from domestic to foreign. The taxation system in case of a foreign corporate depends upon the tax agreement between India as well as such a country. So there is a agreement between the foreign companies and a domestic company. According to that, taxation system will goes on, and tax liability will be calculated. So there is a particular tax rate is there, certain criteria. If that particular company, any other foreign company receiving any royalty, as I said, royalty is a fixed amount of money the owner will get by the users. The periodical payment will get. So any fees or any technical services which is received by the foreign companies, right? For a Indian concern or Indian government, as for any agreement made before April 1st, 1976, which is approved by the central government. So there is a criteria which they can be fulfilled. Then only uh, we can levy the tax rate at 50% on that particular foreign companies. And other than this, any other income, if the foreign company is getting, in the sense that apart from this, apart from mentioned in first one, they need to pay at the tax rate of 40%. And along with that, a surcharge for 2% is levied if the income is between 1 crore to 10 crore. Right. The in between the 1 crore to 10 crore, there is a surcharge of 2% they need to pay. In case it exceeds rupees 10 crore, then the applicable surcharge will be 5%. So 1 crore to 10 crore, that is a 2% surcharge they need to pay. And if the 10 crore is uh, it exceeds the 10 crore, then they will able to pay for it around surcharge of 5%. So let us start with the next concept here, the corporate tax rebate. Rebate in the sense that a refund, whatever the tax liability of yours, you are, if you pay the more than that, the remaining amount will be refunded. In the income tax rules, there is a provisions like rebates, deductions, and exemptions are there. So according to that, the corporate tax rebate that particular company will get. There are certain criteria by calculating their income for a corporate tax. Some of the rebates or deductions are, what are all the rebates they will get and deductions they will get here. If that particular company, the domestic company, what we can call, some interest income received by the domestic company is deductible from the profit calculated for the corporate tax. So if any interest is received by the domestic company, that interest will be deductible from the profit calculated for the corporate tax. So that the interest will be rebate for the that particular domestic company. So it doesn't calculated for the tax liability. It is deductible from your profit. So that will be the rebate or concession or exemptions from the corporate tax. So in case of company has a set of a new infrastructure or source of power, what we can call electricity, then those are subject to deductions. So any infrastructure the company is going to build or set up for a new infrastructure or sources of power or electricity, then that will be subject to deduction. So that rebate they will get or reduction they will get. And company can carry forward the losses incurred for a maximum 8 years. So maximum of the period of 8 years they are doing the carry forward of its losses. It means there is a exemption, there is a rebate, what we can call, there is a deductions of that particular company. And in case of domestic company receives a dividend from another domestic company. So you have studied in while studying income tax and all that, right, in your UG itself. So there is a criteria like, in case of a domestic company receives any dividend from another domestic company, that will be exempted, that you know. And the capital gain earned from a corporate entities, it is not taxed. Capital gain, you know that the gain they will get by the selling their capital assets, then that will be that will be not taxed here. In case of export and new undertaking, deductions are allowed in some cases. Right. So these are all the criteria which they need to follow. If they want to get a rebate and deductions, there is a criteria that we need to understand. So next one, so far we discussed different aspects of a corporate tax planning. So finally, corporate tax planning means we can say that it's a strategizing the financials of the corporation to minimize the tax outgo and maximize the profit. So ultimate aim is to minimize the tax and maximize the profit. Minimize the tax outgo. So how much tax liability the company is going to reduce by proper tax planning, then maximize its profits. So this is a objectives which is achieved by the utilizing available exemptions. So what are the exemptions, rebates, deductions are available in the uh, in that particular company, to that particular company, that will be, we can call it as the good corporate tax planning. uh, for to make effective this corporate tax planning, as we have studied, there is a certain expertise. They can hire professionals to do to make corporate tax planning more effective, that you know. And effective tax planning is tricky and sometimes risky as well. So that is why corporates hire professionals for this task. So so it is not an easy task, right? So to manage it effectively, to manage corporate tax planning effectively, they hire the professionals. So these professionals, what will do, they are well tuned with the various provisions of the tax, so that they can manage it very uh, effectively, right? So that is what we can call corporate tax planning. And an important aspect to understand here, tax planning is not a tax evasion. So tax planning is not a tax evasion. So you know that tax planning is nothing but so reducing the tax rate by using what are all the rebates, deductions, and exemptions are there into the income tax, right? So we are using that one to reduce the tax liability. It's not a tax evasion. It's not deliberately. We are not what we can call against the against the income tax act, right? So tax, they are not deliberately, they are escaping from paying the taxes. That is what we can call tax evasions. It's tax planning. It's not a tax evasion. It's a legal one. It's a illegal one. Tax evasion is illegal one. Tax planning is legal one, that you have studied in last semester itself. Tax evasion is against the law, while tax planning is about strategizing the financial of the company in such a way that